Hi there, my name's Aaron Peterson and I'm a Vineyard Working Priest. What I mean by that is I planted the hub with a team 17 years ago, almost 18 now, and I've always worked a second job. I've taught at the local high school for Los Angeles Unified School District, and I'm happy to do that. I feel called to do that. And many people say, oh, you're bivocational, you're a tent maker, you're co-vocational. And I choose to use the phrase Vineyard Working Priest. And I've written a couple of articles trying to explain that, to also encourage you and to give you some practical wisdom on what you can do if you happen to find yourself in this position of pastoring full-time and also working a second job to derive an income outside of your church. And so the first article is about just embracing your story and how important it is to know who you are and that it's okay and that you're in good theological company, you're in good practical company, you're normal. You know, there are so many of us in our movement in the United States and around the world. For example, I head up the US-Uganda partnership, and all my friends in Uganda that pastor Uganda vineyards, 100% of them are bivocational, or what I like to call vineyard working priests. You know, working priest comes from after World War II, there were a bunch of priests in France, and they asked the archbishop for permission to get jobs outside their parish, and they were called working priests. And I thought, you know what, that's a great phrase for vineyard bivocational pastors, because bivocational pastors up till now, it's got this negative connotation. People, you know, maybe some even of your friends kind of look down like, oh, you failed, or you couldn't grow your church big enough, you know. But I want to let you know you're not a failure. I also want to let you know that you're normal and that you're needed. You're needed in the movement, in the vineyard movement. You're needed in your town. The second article is more practical, and I want you to tell your story. And I want you to explain the importance of over-communicating to your spouse. Let them know that, guess what? I'm working a second job, you know, or let her know, guess what? We're working a second job. And your church, you need to over-communicate with your church, because the expectations need to be renegotiated now that you're going to be working and using your time and energy elsewhere, as well as pastoring full-time. And I want you to over-communicate with vineyard leadership. Talk to your area leader. You know, there are some areas in our country that are full of vineyard working priests, and the area leader has moved the meetings to the weekend or the evenings to make it possible for us to attend. I appreciate that. Finally, you know, you could join the Facebook page. We have a group, Vineyard Working Priests. It's just right now a place to just tell your story. And we want to gather stories, and then our next step is we want to start developing resources specifically for vineyard working priests. Apply this summer to the Pastoral Care Well-Being Initiative. And also Chris Miller, he's formed what's called Flourishing Leaders. It's a ministry of the Vineyard USA, and it is a great group to come alongside you, where it's a model where you can get a mentor, a coach, a spiritual director, and help you on this journey of being a vineyard working priest. Check out the articles. I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you're encouraged and feel cared for. Take care.